Can we keep up with the cost of living? Hello, welcome to Mark and Pete Live. I'm Pete, a clergyman, and with me, as ever, is Mark, a businessman. We have different views on things, but this time we've got an interesting topic, contentious and a little bit unpleasant. Come on, lay it on us, Mark. What's it about? This cost of
Well,
living problem?
my pockets are empty, sir. Yes, the prices are rising.
Don't doubt it.
Goodness me. And in the United States, yes, they have seen accelerations of inflation of up to 7.5%. Remarkably, that's the highest rate since 1982. Ouch. That's hurting
Mm.
people's purses and wallets. But it's not just in the United States. In Europe, people are seeing increasing costs. Yes, even the price of pasta, tin tomatoes, and many other things are going up. Oh dear, my basket is empty. I can't afford everything. And that's what everybody else agrees. So, what does this really mean? Well, in my opinion, all of this is just simply hard to stomach. The cost of pasta is going up faster, and frugal spending has been forgotten. The real tail forecaster is a disaster, and the price of tomatoes has gone rotten. The jump in jars of jam is a scam, and even cheese is not cheap across the board. And the value of lamb is a sham. Soon we'll have nothing to afford. The bounce in beans is beyond means, as the food is too high that we buy. We need proteins, not more vaccines, so we'll all just eat humble pie. Clergyman Pete, I ask you, how are you affording to live in society today?
Well, just about, I think is the answer. And it's looking like it's getting worse in terms of prices in real terms, and it's an interesting discussion that's had in sort of the public forum about this. Yes, there are problems, for example, with artificially keeping interest rates low. Causes a problem when you have to raise them in the end, and you get prices rising. Uh, Also, you can have problems with providing too much money in the money supply. It can be a problem. There were two other issues. Uh, One is that if you if if you've had people not working, factories closing down, travel into and out of a country stopped, you end up with not enough products. It's just simply
Yeah.
that the demand outstrips the supply, so the prices go up. And in fact, it's such a problem that actually some things really are in such short supply you can't get them, which is what you might call a first world problem, isn't it? You can't actually get that particular type of avocado I wanted. It's getting to that stage, and I don't think it's going to get worse in that sense. I think at the moment, anyway, the supply chains seem to be getting back on track. But it does mean that because they haven't yet brought up the stocks available, things are going to be more expensive. And once they get more expensive,
Mm.
just the trend is that they stay more expensive. So those are the main points that I would raise. It's to do with manipulation of the market because of lowering keeping interest rates artificially low. It's to do with supply and demand. I think those are two of the things. But one thing that government, major governments like the federal government in the US could do, and state governments there, is reduce regulations, because regulations do stifle the abilities of particularly small companies to be able to compete. And if you can be competitive, then prices can be lower. That's something
Mm.
they could do. That's why I give that separate, rather than something that isn't being done. But
Yes.
or something wrong that's been done.
Well, many
So that's
small
that's my
businesses.
brief analysis. What do you reckon?
Yes. Well, I think many small businesses are struggling to cope with the enormous burgeoning red tape, as some people
Yes.
would say. Certainly in Europe, since the United Kingdom came out of the EU, many small businesses have complained that they just simply can't cope with all of those regulations. It's just actually stifling business. In the United States, Well, they're also seeing some other issues, very similar in the sense that we talk about food prices going up, but energy bills are going up as well. And of course, obviously, whilst the United States has a different situation than perhaps the UK and Europe, people, the consumer, yes, is definitely hurting. Now, when it comes to interest rates, if we say take the Bank of England, ironically, they have raised the interest rates twice, but is it enough? Some people are saying this is just simply not enough. If you look over the last 10 years, it's been below 1% as a base rate for over 10 years. Now, some people will say, well, I think that actually they could have probably helped consumers a little bit more. But it's not just about one thing. I think, as clergyman Pete highlighted, it's a combination of measures. I would say that probably what we're going to have to do is this old proverbial tightening of the belt is going to be seen for quite some time. I actually think that certain prices will go up. This is partly for the fact that if you think back before COVID-19, many people were importing lots of goods from all over the world. So yes, great for the planet, folks. Many people just simply shipping bananas and
Yeah, I
cheese and
know.
milk,
Yeah,
lamb, and everything else from all over the world. When in actual fact, what should have happened is people should have listened to the Mark and Pete show. Localism. Yes, why
yeah,
not actually buy local? Reduce your carbon footprint down. Try and reduce the prices down, give those communities an opportunity to invest and to grow. And what we've seen, particularly in the United Kingdom, and I think it applies to many other countries as well, is that that infrastructure, that loss of talent, that loss of business has just dissipated. So, where the United Kingdom perhaps did rely on goods from many other parts of the world, it's now seeing that pain because ultimately that demand is high. But unfortunately,
yeah.
the manufacturers and those suppliers who are around the world, whether it be about wheat, whether about rice, whether it about other things, just simply can't produce enough. And I can't see it changing, Clergyman Pete. So
Yeah,
yes,
yeah. Well,
you're
yes, I think just in closing to say, yes, there is a Mark and Pete
and a Mark and
mantra.
Beat.
Yeah, I was going to say a
Which is going up rapidly.
Mark and Meat pantra, but I meant a Mark and Meat mantra, which is long-termism and localism. Localism, right? Yep, shop local where possible, and grow your own where
Yes.
possible. And this is not going to help necessarily this time, but to future-proof yourself for the next time there's an issue like this. Shop local, grow your own where possible. This is also long-term because then you ensuring that you're always going to have a very short supply chain, especially if you're just going into your garden to get stuff. Uh, that's the way to future-proof your supply of pasta and tomatoes or whatever it is. Although growing your own pasta can be tricky. I think that's about it from Mark and Pete for this week. Don't forget to subscribe and let us know what you think below. We'd love to hear from you. Catch you next time.